The island of Maui has been voted the best island in the world for 20 years in a row by TripAdvisor's Traveler Reader's Choice. The island displays some of the most breathtaking scenic views one could imagine, and along the coastline is the most legendary Hawaiian road trip one could take, the road to Hana. It's a very narrow and windy driving tour that stretches 64 miles along the northern coast of Maui, with 600 sharp turns and 54 bridges, most of which are only 1 lane wide. It's not an easy drive, but those willing to endure the suspense will be rewarded with panoramic views of rainforests, lush jungle valleys, hidden beaches, tumbling waterfalls, and rugged slopes. Along the first half of the trip, there are several lookout areas with tremendous ocean views where one can watch from a bluff the most massive waves beating the shoreline below, of some rocky beaches, white sand, red sand, and even black sand beaches. You'll be invited to park and wander into the Garden of Eden, where you can witness the beauty of 100-year-old mango trees and a bamboo forest. You'll also pass by the Kenai Peninsula. The coastline is rocky and dangerous. It's not a place for swimming, but the area is rich in history. It used to be home to a village community until a devastating tsunami swiped it away in 1946, killing 20 children and 4 teachers. According to legend, not many people took the storm warning seriously because it fell on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 7 decades ago. Live Science reports that the waves reached 45 feet, about as tall as a 3-story building. The only building left standing was a stone church built in 1856 that still remains today as the Kenai Congregational Church.
The only thing left standing was this church right here. Still here today. Beautiful. There are some houses that are out here today. People do still live out here, but everybody comes here as part of the road to Hana for the beautiful views. The waves over here crashing on the rocks.
Past the halfway point along the road to Hana, the road will eventually open up into an environment very different from the first half of the trip. It's as though you've journeyed to the end of the earth. On the eastern side, you'll be surrounded by a more calm and inviting shoreline, a constant but warm and subtle breeze, panoramic mountain views, and wide open pastures for as far as you can see. You'll pass through Kaupo, the last remaining city of ancient Hawaiian ruins. Archaeological evidence of Hawaii's early civilization still exists there today.
It really is a small island once you start meeting people. It really has that small town feeling, sense of community here. A lot of people are coming over here without their friends and family, so we kind of band together, and it's a really nice feeling. And especially if you're new here, the friendliness, you really feel it when you're out and about. People letting you go in front of you in traffic and waving and stopping to talk on the street. It seems like people have time to engage with other people here.
Within a couple of minutes you can be at the beach, you can be on the mountains, or you can be up country, and everything is different. There's not a lot of traffic compared to big cities, not a lot of crime, everybody's friendly, everybody gives you a shaka as you're driving. Everybody tells you, no, you go first. No, you go first. So it's different.
It's just the beauty of the surroundings and just being home. It's the best place to raise your family. I moved away out to Kahului for a little while. Then I had my oldest daughter, decided to move back to Hana. It's just, for me, it's just safer for a lot of us. And because it's a small community, everybody knows everybody. It's just family. Everything is just right. It's not a rat race.
What I tell everybody, if they ask me what to do here, it's always the road to Hana, of course, because that's what you'd think real Hawaii is, away from the resorts and the shopping and the kind of man-made stuff. It's really wild out there and lush and tropical. So when you think of Hawaii, that's what you think of. So I always say do road to Hana first if you have the time, and take your time while you do it.
Everything grows. The grass grows, trees grow, everything is bigger than you. But it's just beauty.
The road to Hana is a very beautiful, picturesque drive. It's also a coastal drive. Um, you have waterfalls, black sand beaches, red sand beach. You have quite little towns. Starting on the road to Hana, you have Paia. It's one of the first two towns for the plantation workers. It's eclectic. That's what it describes it. You have artists and different things there. Then you have other towns like Kenai, which is halfway to Hana, where they have the famous Auntie Sandy's banana bread. Finally, you get to Hana, and that's where you have the black sand beaches, Wainapa Napa, and then beyond, what we call Hana and beyond. So you have Kaupo, Kipahulu, the ranch lands, and totally different than the beginning of Hana. And that's where the rental cars are not supposed to go because it is off-road.
When you're getting past Hana, the road opens up and you feel a little bit sometimes claustrophobic if you feel that way when you're driving through. It's going to open up and you're going to be on the other side of Haleakala in these giant views. So it's a completely different climate. It just opens up and there's not very many cars out there. So it's really a feeling of like wild and kind of untouched.
What everybody tells me, the passengers, is that when they see the backside, some people say it reminds them of Ireland. Some people say it reminds them of Colorado. I guess everybody wants to see a little bit of home in the back, but it's very different. It's not lush as the other side of Hana.
The land, if you're driving through Hana, majority of it is all forest reserve that's owned by the state of Hawaii. They maintain all of that. In Hawaii, Mauka means anything towards the mountain. Makai means anything towards the ocean. But Mauka side is where a lot of this forest reserve maintain.
We have several forest reserves. Also, the biggest is called Haleakala National Park, federal government. That includes Kaupo, the summit, and some areas in the back, besides Kaupo and Kipahulu. What people call the seven sacred pools, which they're not seven, they're not sacred, that was made up, is Ohio. That's the true name of it. So all that area, which is very large, belongs to the National Park Service.
I work at the National Park out in Kipahulu, or known as Haleakala National Park. So in 1969, there was this guy, his name was Paul Fagan. He was the one who built the Hotel Hana Maui then. So to draw more visitors to Hana, he told them the seven pools. That was like a myth that he used to draw people to Hana. So the pools, a little truth to that is where on the Big Island there's this area called Pu'uko'ola, and we have this area that's called Kanikawila. Between those two islands, when they did war with the chiefs, after war, they will come up out of the ocean in that area, come into the fresh water, clean themselves. But as you get further in, the water gets cleaner from salt to fresh. Just a matter of cleansing. So there's a little truth to it. My grandmother used to own the river area, but because the state of Hawaii banned for water rights, so she gave her share to where the national park, so the national park upkeeps that. I'm working at the national park now, understanding what they do to preserve the land. It's awesome.
It's not about getting to Hana, it's about the journey.
It's not the destination, is the journey.
So Hana is a Hawaiian town. It's not really a place where you get out of your car and like walk around. And so it's not really about the road to Hana. It's about all the stops along the way and all the views and sights.
Hana is the number one thing to see and do in Maui. If somebody wants to do it themselves, I always tell them, take your time, enjoy the journey, don't trespass. Unfortunately, that's a big problem. And be respectful of the land. It's here for the next generation and beyond. So don't leave anything on the land and don't take anything from the land.